The ivory hunters were captured by indigenous people. They quickly prepared them like roasted chickens. To prevent the man from dying quickly, they inserted bamboo tubes into his nose and mouth. When the mud hardened, they swiftly took him to the grill. Then they constantly rotated the stick, as the mud insulated much of the heat, and the bamboo tubes allowed him to breathe. The man could only watch as they slowly roasted him, but that wasn't the cruelest part. The second poacher was tied to the ground. The indigenous people threw a venomous snake in front of him. The snake didn't attack the man, but when it touched the fire, it immediately lunged at him. Jack, who was watching, was terrified, fearing what awaited him. Soon they took Jack outside to torture him slowly. The chief first shot an arrow. When Jack ran past the arrow, the indigenous people began to hunt him. Jack ran looking back, not believing the indigenous people would let him go. Seeing Jack moving away, the indigenous people showed no concern, not knowing that they themselves would be the prey. Soon the first indigenous man ran out. In the suffocating heat, Jack couldn't run faster than the indigenous people. They soon caught up to him. Seeing the distance shortening, the indigenous man immediately threw his spear. Luckily it didn't pierce Jack. However, he barely reached Jack. Jack picked up the spear and finished off the indigenous man. Jack picked up the weapons from the ground and quickly fled. Soon the indigenous man's father arrived. He never thought his usual hunting game would cost his son's life. Soon a second indigenous man arrived. Looking at his companion's body, he furiously chased after Jack, swearing to avenge his fallen companion. When he was about to catch up to Jack, he suffered a sudden attack and fell to the ground, dying instantly. Jack finally had a moment to breathe. He hid in front of a hill, making a pair of improvised shoes, while not knowing where to go. Suddenly he discovered something on the ground. It was a giant snail. Although it contained many viruses, after so long without eating, he could no longer worry about that. He broke the snail's shell with one blow. Then he put the snail in his mouth, fighting back nausea as he chewed. After eating, Jack didn't forget to clean his teeth. Unknown to him, a third indigenous man found him nearby. The indigenous man discovered footprints on the ground. He soon deduced Jack's position and ran quickly toward him. Fortunately, Jack discovered him in time. As he prepared to flee, he passed by a cactus. Jack punctured small holes in the cactus. A white liquid flowed from the holes. The indigenous man arrived and saw it. He deduced that Jack was nearby. Then he saw a pair of shoes. He approached cautiously to ambush, but Jack appeared behind him, finishing off the indigenous man. Seeing so many of his tribe die, the chief decided to take revenge personally. Meanwhile, Jack reached the river to drink, but the water was full of crocodiles. Drinking was impossible. Jack ran disappointed into the forest. Could he escape the pursuit of the indigenous people?